Om Trambakam Yajamahe Mrit Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityor Mukshiya Ma Amritat. What is this bondage and what does it mean to be free from bondage? When we say Mrityoho Mukshiya, free me from bondage, what does it mean? So we've seen so many meanings, but there's one story that I really like that makes us really think deeply. There was once a man who lived in a village, and he had some cows, and every day he would take the cows for grazing, and then he would bring them back, he would milk them, and then he would, use that milk for his livelihood, etc. And he would sell some milk, he would bring it back home, whatever he gained, and he would use it to sustain his life, basically. So these cows were always with him, and every day he went out grazing with the cows, and he felt very one with the cows, very attached to the cows, that they were his cows, and he would take a lot of pride in his cows. And so one day he took the cows grazing, and he had to go relieve himself. So he left the cows for a moment and he found some place where he could go relieve himself. And he had the call of nature. So he left. And when he came back, the cows were missing. The cows were missing. And he was just so distraught. And he was just weeping and crying because he said, I went for 1 minute and it's not because of anything, but I couldn't help it. And I left and now my cows are lost. And so he went everywhere trying to look for his cows, but he couldn't find them. For some reason, he just couldn't find them. And he went home that night and he was weeping and crying. And his whole family said, what happened? He said, I lost my cows. I lost my cows. I had to just go for a minute or two. And when I came back, they were not there anymore. I don't know if someone took them away or what happened. And so they all kind of, relaxed him. They made him calm down and said, we'll find, we will get together. We'll get something together. We'll get new cows. We'll make everything work. But he was just so distraught. He said, how can I lose those cows? And he kept thinking, he said, maybe if he didn't eat certain things, he wouldn't feel that way. Maybe if he didn't go to that particular area on the farm, then, then they would still be there. Maybe if he had help, the cows would still be there. Was it that the cows didn't love him? And his mind just kept going on and on about the cows. It was like he had mad cow. He was just thinking about the cows day in and night, how he lost those cows. And so there was a very wise person in that area. And he went to see the wise person. And he said, I've lost my cows and I'm just feeling so distraught. So the wise man said, don't worry, sometimes things come, sometimes things go, sometimes we gain, sometimes we lose. And this is such a time. So start from scratch again and you'll be okay. So this man had such a heavy heart. He knew he had to start again. He knew he had to go through the whole thing again, but such a heavy heart. And so one of the disciples of the wise man looked at him and said, Teacher, what would happen to you? What would you do if you lost your cows? And the teacher looks at the student and he says, thankfully, I have no cows to lose. He says, I have no cows to lose. What is realization? Realization is when there's nothing to lose and there's nothing to gain. Because you are who you are, the self. You can never lose that self. You can never lose your self that pure awareness. No matter what you do, you can't lose it. And actually, no matter what you do, you can't gain it because it's already there. So that gaining is only really knowing. So what is realization? It's the day that we come to realize you and I have nothing to lose. No matter what goes away, what walks away, what leaves our life, that's the nature of it. But you will never lose yourself. So the day to rejoice is the day when we have no cows to lose. Unfortunately, sometimes we spend our lives collecting these cows, collecting cows of material things, of relationships, of name, of security, of all kinds of things. And when we lose it, we feel so sad. But everything that we have gained by effort, we will lose like this, because it is the law of this world. The one who has nothing to lose, Yahapashati, that's the one who is free. So when we think about Mrtyoho Mukshiya, think about that being who's got nothing to lose. So now we'll go ahead and say that mantra. It's a very beautiful story. Think about it a little deeper and you can revel in something like this. We'll start with 3 ohms. Relax your entire body, starting from your feet, to your ankles, to your leg, knee, thigh, hips. Relax your stomach, chest, lower back, upper back. Relax your shoulders, arms. Relax your hands, your fingertips. Relax your neck, face, forehead, and the tip of your head. Just relax, 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 relax. Inhale freedom, free from loss and free from gain. And exhale bondage. Inhale freedom, free from loss, free from gain. Exhale bondage. Inhale, freedom, free from loss and gain. Exhale,